Back again for another video, this time game week 8 team selection. But first, let's recap game week 7. So my first points came from Raya, 6 points, clean sheet, no bonus. To be honest, he's probably never going to get bonus points. He doesn't really make many saves because Arsenal are so strong defensively, but still it is an extra slice into that Arsenal defence. Then Tarkowski, 5 points, which actually isn't too bad considering he conceded. 11 DEFCON points, that's 2 extra points plus 90 minutes played and 1 bonus point. And for me, obviously this is why DEFCON is so good. It can turn like an average 3-pointer into a solid return. Like Raya got a clean sheet and beat Tarkowski by only 1 point, so it just goes to show how powerful DEFCON contributions are. And Semenyo, he got 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 bonus points, and that was actually all in the final 10 minutes of the match. He was literally on 2 points before that first goal. He was the highest scorer of the week. I could have captained him, but I mean, it was Fulham. I didn't really expect to see him score 2 goals and get 1 assist as well. So, I mean, Haaland was always going to be my captain for that game week. So not too much regret there. Then we got Njai, 7 points. Another late show, a 76th minute penalty. He could have even had an assist as well, if not for a brilliant save from Henderson before Grealish cleaned up on the rebound. It just goes to show how important penalty takers are. There's always a shot at points, even if the player is not playing well and he looks quiet. So yes, one reason why you always pick penalty takers in your team. And then Haaland, my captain, his ridiculous form continues. Not really much more to say on that. It's Haaland. We all know how good he is. He's got a non-penalty expected goal involvement of like 1.2 goals per game, which is just ridiculous. Will it continue? I mean, it's Haaland, so it could do. Probably the only one player that you would think, yeah, this is going to continue for a long time. And then we'll talk about Gyökeres, who blanked. Obviously, we had Senesi, who blanked. Fernandes blanked. Reinders blanked. Apart from their clean sheets, they pretty much blanked. João Pedro blanked. Another game where Chelsea were down to 10 men, so I can't hold that against him. But as for Gyökeres, yeah, this one's annoying me really. The more I have him in, the more he blanks. It's just frustrating me even more because of how I felt when I put him in my wildcard team. I pretty much ignored my gut and the whole eye test thing because I thought he'd be on penalties. Now he's not. He's probably about 50-50 going to be on penalties. Some he's going to take, some Saka's going to take. I just want to get rid of him, to be honest. We'll get into that in the transfer target section about my possible replacement for him. I've got 2 that I'm considering, but 1 really firm favourite. And yeah, let's get into that in a few moments. But that saw me hit 73 points, which was a small green arrow up to just over 692,000, giving me a total overall points of 431. So yeah, I'm going in the right direction. Another green arrow, I think that makes it 5 or 6 in a row. Under 1 million, which is always a good target to aim for. Let's see how further we can go. Right, so my transfer targets. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm seriously considering admitting defeat on Gyökeres and moving on. I just don't rate him. I know that might sound harsh, but I've just not seen anything that makes me think there's a player there. He's slow to get his shot off. He's not really influencing games. And I actually think Premier League defenders are finding it quite easy to defend against him. He runs channels well, but that's easy for a quick defender to just jockey him and keep him out of the danger areas. And look, in FPL that doesn't always matter. He doesn't have to look electric. He doesn't have to look like he's a world beater. You just need him to be in the right place at the right time, put in a few goals, and all of a sudden he's a good FPL asset. But when you're watching your players play, you want to feel like something's coming, and I just don't get that from him. And obviously at the time of his selection, the logic was sound. We thought he was on penalties. Arsenal create a lot of chances, so surely he's going to grab a few tap-ins, a couple of easy goals here and there. But we haven't actually seen that yet in 7 Premier League games. Now, yes, he scored 3 goals, but what have we actually seen that's made us go, wow, this is a good player? I haven't seen it yet. I don't know about what everyone else thinks. So yeah, I took a closer look at FOTMob, link in the description. So in his last 14 games across all competitions, that's league, cups and internationals, he's only got those 3 goals. That's it. 2 of them against Leeds, 1 of those from the spot, and then obviously he got that 1 goal against Forest. So in 14 games, he's only got 3 goals. He's got a couple of assists on the international break, but he's played full 90 minutes for Sweden against teams like Kosovo, Slovenia and Switzerland and done next to nothing. His rating, as you can see, is 6.5, 6.8 from many of those games. And yes, it's not just playing for Arsenal, it's for Sweden. They look like they're going to go out of the World Cup qualification. So yes, things aren't looking great for him. It might just be a slump. He may well turn it around and have this purple patch of form, but right now I'm not seeing it. And it just makes me think, why have I selected him? Is it just because he plays for Arsenal and the fact that he was on penalties and now he's not? It's 50-50. And to be honest, I want to go with my gut on this one. I want to go with what I thought at the beginning and I want to move him on. Meanwhile, Saka's there, returned. He's getting back to form. He scored in back-to-back games. He's technically on penalties right now and somehow he's still a bit of a differential. So yeah, it's making me want to make a couple of transfers to get to Saka and get some value elsewhere up front. Sometimes it's about backing consistency rather than backing what Gyökeres could be, because none of us know what he's going to be like. We thought he was going to be this prolific goal scorer for Arsenal. So far it's not turned out that way. He does have some easy fixtures. He could easily score against Palace and Burnley away and Fulham away, but judging what I've seen so far, I'm not so sure. So I'm considering going with Bowen. Despite costing 1.4 million less, Bowen is predicted to score only 1.5 points fewer than Gyökeres over the next 3 game weeks, which is barely anything, but it's a key difference and he's going to be a differential because less managers have Bowen. And as I said, that saving will allow me to strengthen in other areas and still get a similar output. Bowen's fixtures look great. He's got Brentford at home, Leeds away and Newcastle at home. And with Nuno coming in, I actually think he's going to be central to everything West Ham do going forward. Now my next transfer target is someone I really didn't want to wildcard away from, but his injuries forced my hand. He had a hamstring injury and I wasn't sure when he was going to return. And now he's back and he scored against Liverpool. He looked threatening against Everton. He should have got a goal or at least an assist, but for some poor decision making from him and his teammates. But he is putting up incredible numbers. Obviously it's Ismail Assar. He's putting up 0.61 non-penalty expected goals per 90, which is only second to Haaland. And not only is he the only midfielder in the top 5, he actually hasn't played 2 of the 7 games. So it just goes to show how impactful he is for Palace. The decision will be is who I sell him for. Obviously we've got Reinders up here on the picture. You can see he's expected to get 13.8 points in the next 3 game weeks, as opposed to Sar's 15 points. However, Reinders does have Everton at home, so it seems like a silly time to move Reinders on. So the next option could be Njai. Njai's got City away, and this one makes a little bit more sense because it will then strengthen my bench boost this week. And then the benefit of getting Sar in is from game week onwards, Palace's fixtures look really good. They've got Brentford at home, Brighton at home, Wolves away, United at home, Burnley away, and then Fulham as well. Yeah, some really winnable fixtures there. Fixtures that you could target for Sar to make an impact in. And even after the City game in game week 16, they then face Leeds as well in game week 17. There's a long run of fixtures there where Sar will always be in my first 11. So seems like a great pick. And yeah, I'm definitely thinking I'm going to go for this one. I just think I want to get a few more differentials in my team, keep a few of the key players, but also have a couple that go against the grain. Rather than just using the stats all the time, I want to use some of my own knowledge. I obviously know Palace. I know how we play. I know how impactful Sar can be. And that's the reason why I'm going to put him in my team for this game week. I won't make any of these moves until after we've got the injury news. And then I'll probably make the moves before Saturday's deadline at 11 AM. Alright, so let's move on to my team selection for game week 8. We've got Raya in goal. He's away to Fulham. It's not an easy one. Arsenal actually haven't won at Craven Cottage in their last 2 visits, but their bookies still give them a 40% chance of a clean sheet. So of course I'm going to play him. Then we've got Richards. He's at home to Bournemouth. I'm expecting a back and forth game. It's going to be a tough game for Palace to get something from. I'm expecting goals in it, to be honest. So DEFCON points should really be what I'm targeting from this game. I'm expecting Richards to pick up DEFCON points in this game, if I'm honest. Same thing for Senasai. It could be Mukiel instead, but with bench boost active, I'm expecting both to bring in the returns. And then of course Gabriel to finish off that back line. And then we've got Semenyo, and as his ownership is so high, I'm really hoping he blanks as a Palace fan. His ownership is over 60% now, so if he blanks, it doesn't really matter too much. It won't affect my rank too much if he does. So that's what I'm hoping for. Then I've got Fernandes in the team right now, but the Saka move feels like it's already done in my head, to be honest, especially with me moving Gyökeres to Bowen. And then we've got Njai and Reinders, but I'm 60-40 on whether I'm going to make that move. I'm 80-20 on the Fernandes, Gyökeres to Bowen, Saka move. I'm most likely going to do that as long as the news on all the players are good. And then we've got Njai and Reinders and whether I move one of them onto Sarr. I'm 70-30, 60-40 on that probably. But it would benefit my bench boost, so it does make sense to do it. And long term, Sarr just looks like a good pick anyway. Then my strikers, Haaland, of course, he's at home to Everton, so he keeps the captaincy armband. And then we've got João Pedro away to Nottingham Forest. Their expected goals conceded is getting worse and worse with each game that goes by under Ange. So hopefully Chelsea can keep 11 men on the pitch this game week and João Pedro can get more chances in front of goal. Then finally, as you can see, Bowen, he's pretty much a done deal. He's definitely going into my team unless there's some last minute news from Nuno that Bowen's out. But there's nothing in the media, so I'm putting him in that team just to show that I am making that move. Gyökeres is being moved on. Bowen has Brentford, who have conceded an average of 1.4 expected goals conceded per 90. They've conceded in all but one game. And with Nuno's first home game in charge against Brentford, I expect West Ham to be on the front foot and Bowen to be right at the heart of it. So yeah, it's a great game to bring him in for. Then he's got Leeds away as well. So 2 good game weeks coming up for Bowen. I feel like it's the right decision. Then on the bench, Dubravka at home to Leeds. Tarkowski away to City. Hoping for DEFCON points here and a low scoring game so the goals don't affect the points. Then Mukiel and Stack face Wolves and Burnley. So honestly, I don't think there'll be a better time to hit that bench boost. So yeah, that's the lineup. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm being too harsh on Gyökeres? Drop your thoughts below and let me know. And as always, green arrows and enjoy the football.